So this little video is a reminder um, of something amazing, something truly amazing that everyone is and has the availability to become. And I'm choosing my words very carefully here. How does a flower become nature? It already is nature, but perhaps the flower asks, how do I become nature? The answer is going to be to look at yourself. So, how do we find peace today? How do we find the greatest peace that we possibly are capable of being? And the answer is going to lie in looking into yourself to see if you really are this character that you have been building. If you really are this character that you're told at age 2 or 3 that you are. Are you really your name? Are you really who you are? When we go into the story of Mike and our name, this story is filled with lots of other stories. Suddenly you have other characters, you're up on stage in this story, and it's like a play. And it can be very tiring, and it can feel like this is right and this is wrong, and how do I navigate between all of these? Because that's where happiness is. There is another way. I can give you instructions on meditating to find peace, but then once you're in this, you might go over here and go, oh, I lost it, or I lost it. But what I can do is really point to something that's there that we have been stepping over the entire time. And what has been there is the simple presence of being that has been appearing as everything. So, before we get into that, the first thing that's important to do is to really take a look and look through and see, does this character that I'm holding up, that carries pain, that desires, that has fear of death, does this character that I'm holding up that feels like it needs more, that doesn't feel whole, that does not feel wholeness, does this character that doesn't feel wholeness, does it actually exist? Is that really who I am? There's a couple of things you can do to take a look at your true self. And in looking at this true self, you'll discover a lot of peace. So it's not about learning a practice to make Mike more peaceful. It's about learning something which will basically dissolve Mike. And then suddenly realize, I am life. And these are the moments that we feel all the time. You go to the beach, you dissolve into nature. You go for a walk in the woods, stand by the river, you dissolve into the nature. You sit with your cat and pet your cat, and you dissolve into the exchange of energy between the two of you. To a point where there's not even two of you, there's just you and the cat. Take your hand and put it upon the cat. And what happens to your hand and the cat? They just become this purr of allness. So, for a moment, follow me as we go into all there is. Ask yourself the question, who am I? Who am I? And ask this question not to get an answer, but to really just sense the boundless presence that you are. Who am I? That question is the most powerful question. Who am I? And you ask that question, so close your eyes a minute and ask, who am I? Who am I? And at first you might get an answer of a name and a form and a story. Go beyond that. Who am I? Also ask, what is here? What is here? What? What is here? And then I want you to feel the answer. Now most of you will probably say, I feel peace. I feel space. Who am I? The mind goes into space and presence. So what is here now is wholeness and completeness. What is here? Who am I and what is here? And when you ask that question, you disappear. What happens is this you just becomes wholeness. And where does this wholeness begin and end? Does it have a beginning? It goes everywhere. Wholeness appearing as everything and complete. That's all I want to share. Everything is wholeness and complete. So it's this wholeness is being everything. And everything is being this wholeness. Everything. This is a flute. When I played this, where did you hear it from? Everywhere. It went through this, what we call you. And if I touch and hold this flute, it looks like it's separate, and then I touch and hold it, and after a while, it just feels like it's part of my body. Where the fingers touch, the sense of wholeness is there. The flute is perfectly wholeness. Even if I play a note on this flute, and the note is an odd note, let's say it's a scratchy note. So here's a beautiful note. Let's say I play this note. Something like that. That note is still wholeness. So wholeness is energy, aliveness. It is unconditional love. It's appearing as everything. And it's what we've been seeking the entire time, is wholeness. But this wholeness, being wholeness, a mic is not needed. A Sally is not needed. A separate individual is not needed, because a separate individual does not exist. So when you look at this wholeness and you dissolve into it like a salt doll into the ocean, and even then the salt doll is still made of wholeness prior to being tossed into the ocean. So you look at everything as wholeness. Everything is wholeness. Everything is wholeness appearing. Wholeness is walling. It's fanning. It's tapestrying. Beautiful tapestry here. In the space that I am, as I ask, who am I become the space. That space then paints itself out and is everything also. And this is so powerful that even if you're sitting here right now and you're feeling sad, depressed, lost, scared, anxious, poor, mad, angry, all of that is wholeness too. All those emotions are wholeness. If you're sitting here seeking to find peace, even the seeking is wholeness. If you're sitting here saying, I don't understand what he's talking about, even that is wholeness appearing. Fullness. Fullness and wholeness. We sit. And even just the sitting is wholeness. And everything appears and looks to be separate from us. The singing bowl looks to be separate. But when touched, it's not separate. The place where the energy of this begins and ends is everything. Even the sound of it goes everywhere. So it looks to be separate, but actually it is all of us. You'll see a clear presence of energy appearing through this. And this is what we are. So with this, how do we live life? What next? You can sit with this message. There is no you, there's just wholeness appearing as everything. And you can sit with this and you say, wow, that is fantastic. And it takes and clears your mind. You can become completely clear. Now, how to live life as this? Well, this is where you get into letting go. And the letting go is not a you saying, I need to let go. Letting go just takes place when you say, who am I? What is here? Who am I? What is here? And then suddenly you go into this space of peace. And it's not a separate space. It's what's been here the entire time. It's very normal. It's just plain. There it is. But it feels like there is, the universe is love. There's some love there. And in this place, as this place, beingness of this, of just this, there is no busyness of the mind trying to dissolve, discover, or do anything. It's just perfect, endless presence of wholeness, which is what all is. So the letting go is not to actually let go of anything. It's a dissolving into the wholeness, in which case then all the things that were bothering you, you kind of say like, what? I guess nothing is bothering me. What is the issue? What is the matter? We say that, what is the matter? And we look at it and go, well, there really isn't any matter, so there's nothing really going on. Which means nothing ever happens. There's just wholeness, 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 period. It looks like things are happening, but at the end of the day, you go back and sit on the beach where you were from the morning, and it's what's there. You're still the same being, still the same presence. Nothing actually took place. This wholeness is. So I'm going to do some videos on what next. What do you do next? How to, not how to, but just what's involved in enjoying this. Let's enjoy life again. Let's really enjoy life. Knowing that everything is wholeness, what would appear next? And just watch how that works. So I'll be back with another one on how to relook at all the things that worry us so much and to dissolve them, which will happen automatically. So I hope this makes some sense to you. I'll leave with one of the most impressive things I could ever give you would just be this song. It has 1,000 words, 1,000,000 stories. It never begins and it never ends.